Good morning and welcome to another special edition of Let It Be Known. It is Virtual NNPA Convention time, virtualnnpa2021.com. Some great stuff planned today. And then, of course, this morning, to kick everything off, we're going to have some fun. We have the great Bobby Henry, the publisher of the Westside Gazette Newspaper in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, joining us. And you don't want to miss Bobby. Bobby is one of the beacons of the Black press. But first, of course, let us talk about the headlines this morning. Every new COVID-related death in America is preventable because of the effective vaccines, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Even the new dangerous Delta variant is slowed by vaccination, and Dr. Rochelle Walensky, the director of the CDC, and Dr. Anthony Fauci, the director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, said those who are dying now from COVID are overwhelmingly unvaccinated individuals. Dr. Walensky said the vaccines are nearly 100% effective against severe disease and death. Dr. Fauci said nearly every death due to COVID is particularly tragic because nearly every death, especially among adults, due to COVID is at this point entirely preventable. You'll hear from both Dr. Fauci and Dr. Walensky during our convention today. Again, log in at www.virtualnnpa2021.com, where you'll hear a lot more from the CDC, Dr. Walensky, and of course from Dr. Anthony Fauci, the nation's leading doctor when it comes to this pandemic. Also in the news, in the national conversation about policing over the past year, public attention has focused on those who die at the hands of police. We know the names: George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Tamir Rice, and others killed by police. But few know that tens of thousands of people end up in emergency rooms after run-ins with police. A new report published by the Marshall Project and data from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention show that since 2015, more than 400,000 people have been treated in emergency rooms because of a violent interaction with police. But there's almost no nationwide data on the nature or circumstances of their injuries. Many of the country's 18,000 law enforcement agencies don't tally or make public the number of people who need medical care after officers break their arms, bruise their faces, or shock them with tasers. Researchers point out that only a tiny portion of arrests involve force, but when police do use force, more than half of the incidents ended up with a suspect or civilian getting hurt. Also, to go along with that, yesterday the Supreme Court made a huge ruling that police cannot pursue in someone's home on a no-knock warrant a misdemeanor crime. But we know that it has to extend even further at this point because of these deadly interactions. So the Supreme Court is trying to do a little something to curb this pandemic of police violence, especially the victims are especially people of color. And how about this? A menu that the manager of an Ikea store in Atlanta says was meant to honor Juneteenth instead angered Black employees who called it insensitive at the least. Many didn't show up for work the next day, and some even. The manager is apologizing, but employees who requested that their names be left out of this report, they said that the special menu for customers and employees was one way to honor the perseverance of Black Americans and acknowledge the progress yet to be made. But get this, here's what the menu included: fried chicken, watermelon, mac and cheese, and collard greens. Employees called that racially insensitive and ignorant and said members of management need to do more to educate themselves on Black culture moving forward. One employee said, "You cannot say serving watermelon on Juneteenth is a soul food menu when you don't even know the history. They used to feed slaves watermelon during the time of slavery." So IKEA has a lot of sensitivity training ahead you can rest assured. Today, of course, as we noted, it is the National Newspaper Publishers Association's annual summer convention. And you're going to hear, as I mentioned earlier, you're going to hear from folks like Dr. Walensky of the CDC, Dr. Fauci. You're also going to hear from Attorney Ben Crump. You're going to hear from Def Jam founder Russell Simmons, Public Enemy's Chuck D, the NBA great Isaiah Thomas, Presidential Advisor Cedric Richmond, Senator Raphael Warnock, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, and so many more. There will be panels with the SBA, and also our sponsor, our corporate partner, General Motors. There will be a fireside chat. So much going on. And then, of course, the entertainment portion, which includes also, I should mention the Messenger Awards on Thursday night, tonight, and also the Legacy Awards, which will be tomorrow night, where special presentations to Darnella Frazier, the young woman who took the video of George Floyd's death. She will receive the highest journalism award the NNPA issues each year. Reverend John P. Key will be honored, and he will perform for us. Attorney General Keith Ellison, Earth, Wind, and Fire's Philip Bailey, the Count Basie Orchestra, Dr. Starsky Wilson of the Children's Defense Fund also will be awarded Legacy Awards. Dr. Kismikia Corbett, the doctor who was instrumental in coming up with the formula for COVID vaccines, also will be among those accepting awards tomorrow night. There will also be a special performance by new soul and jazz artist Candace Hoyes, and a very special concert by the one and only Shaka Khan, who's also receiving a special award at the NPA's annual convention. And right now, to talk a little bit more about that, let us bring on our tireless, our hardworking president, Dr. Ben Chavis. Good morning, Dr. Ben Chavis.
Good morning, Stacy Brown. And on behalf of the National Newspaper Publishers Association, we're celebrating 194 years of the Black Press of America. Karen Carter Richards, our distinguished chair, our executive committee, our board of directors. I know you got the chair of the nominating committee on, Bobby Henry, this morning from the great state of Florida. On behalf of all of our publishers, 230 of them, we greet everybody on this special edition of Let It Be Known as we open our convention to the public this morning at 11 o'clock Eastern Time.
Absolutely. I want to say good morning to James Wright. He's watching from the Washington Informer. Joni King is watching. Annette Phillips. Always good to see Annette, and Lynn Spivey. But it's also great to see Jackie Hampton of the Mississippi Link. She's on the executive team of the NNPA watching. Cheryl Smith, who we had the privilege of just having on this program. She is watching as well. Texas Metro News and iMessenger Media. And a warm welcome, as always, to our chair, the fabulous publisher of the Houston Forward Times, Karen Carter Richards. Good morning to you all, Michelle Madison, and everyone who's watching. But you know what? Let's have some fun, Dr. Chavis. With us this morning, the publisher of the Westside Gazette, Mr. Bobby Henry. Good morning, Bobby Henry.
Good morning, gentlemen. You know, and it's such an honor to hear my name roll off the lips of such the person as Dr. Benjamin F. Chavis Jr. And to have his sidekick, Stacy, you know, to come in and introduce me, it's an honor, and I don't take it lightly.
Well, thank you, Bobby Henry Sr. We thank you for your leadership, and not only in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and across the state of Florida, the Southeast region, but our nation. And I know that you and Cheryl Smith and others are graduates of Florida A&M. You know, I went to Howard, another HBCU, but I have to give Florida A&M its props. They put out some good graduates, and you're one of the top graduates of Florida A&M University.
You know, Dr. Chavis, I certainly appreciate those accolades, but I must admit, my tenure, even though it was long at Florida A&M University, I did not receive my degree from Florida A&M University. My degree came from another HBCU here in the state of Florida, and it's Florida Memorial University. If you ask those who know me, they would tell you that I've traveled extensively from high school I attended several different high schools, and I attended several different HBCUs.
Yes.
Now, yeah, so I am a believer.
Well, Florida Memorial is
Yeah.
significant.
Mhm.
You know, James Weldon Johnson went to Florida Memorial. He was the first African-American executive of the NAACP. People don't realize that. And of course, he authored our national Black anthem, Lift Every Voice and Sing. So Florida Memorial, that's a great college. I've been there many times. And we just want to salute you, Bobby, and the Black press. You know, this is a day for celebration. This is the day that the Lord has made. We had a great board meeting yesterday. Everybody's highly anticipating the opening of the NNPA virtual convention at 11 a.m. this morning. We're going to have a great welcome from our chair. We're going to have this front page. I saw the Westside Gazette's front page is among 100 other front pages that are going to be on display as we open our 2021 National Annual Convention.
Yeah. And Bobby, with that, what are you looking forward to, Bobby, during this convention?
Well, you know, being the committee chair of the nominating committee with some esteemed publishers, Rod Doss, Jan Michelle, Cheryl Smith, Ken Miller, you know, we're looking forward to an election that is of historic monument, and the fact that we actually have an opportunity to instill and instruct a great election. So that's one of the things. But the other is always the awards that's being presented to those who have given so much of their time and service in leadership, with leadership responsibilities, as well as community involvement. Stephanie Mills and her involvement from the civil rights, Chaka Khan, of course, but you got John P. Key, who had a rough life coming up in North Carolina, but he turned it around. See, you know, we have the job, if you will, the responsibility to tell our story from the rooter to the tutor, from the ground to the top. And so it's an honor to award those individuals, and my fraternity brother, one of the greatest attorneys that ever battled on the grounds of litigation for people, and that of attorney Benjamin Crump. So I'm looking forward to us giving honor to our own as we write the narrative of who we are. So that's what I'm looking forward to, Stacy.
Well, it sounds, we love the way you just put all that too. That, especially that rooter to the tutor. You know, I know you reached in the pocket for that one, Bobby. Bobby, you know, recently we ran a story on Black Press USA, led by our chair, Karen Carter Richards, but it talked about not just Karen, but the whole executive committee of Brenda Andrews, Jackie Hampton, also in Atlanta. Why is
James Ware, Fran
Farrar, you know, it talked about these fearless Black women leading this organization the last 2 years, Dr. Chavis, as Bobby, you know, the last 2 years, and especially when you consider the last year plus in a pandemic, the job that they have done, and of course, Dr. Chavis is certainly heavily in that mix there. But we talk about these Black women of the executive team. Bobby, what is your impression of these last 2 years?
Okay, you know, I shared this with Jackie on yesterday. As a matter of fact, it's funny that you asked that question, but I have seen this leadership of Black women. You know, let me digress a minute. Even though Black men may lead the family, it's the Black woman that keeps the family together. So, and as I think about that and bring it to our organization, those 5 women have literally swept off the dust of the foundation, added some more brick and mortar to it to secure it, to allow the Black press, the NNPA, to live another 91 years and 194 years because of their leadership, their stick-to-itness. And it wasn't easy. I know that there have been some challenging times within our organization, but the Black women have held firm to the fact that we will plead our own cause, and that is not separatorial, if that's such a word, from the men's responsibility, but they have solidified and qualified the leadership ability of Black women. So I am elated, I am proud, I am honored to be able to stand on the same platform with these Black women, all of them, from North Carolina to Mississippi, Houston, Texas, all around, Atlanta, Georgia. I am just grateful to see what they have done. And I know that with their leadership, we are going to see some more stuff happening. And Stacy, when I saw Miss Sanders from the Omaha Star on your program and backed up by Cheryl Smith, Doc, and I told y'all, we are going to have to extend this program time to an hour and put those women on the platform with you. And let's have some dialogue that include all of us. So that's what I feel about the leadership of those women of the NNPA. And Dr. Chavis, I cannot take anything from you. I know being a Black man and having all of this estrogen, if that's the word, around you, that you are buffered and you are lifted up for who you are, and you accept this openly and willingly. So I am encouraged by how you handle this. So
well, thank you very much, Bobby Henry Sr. And of course, you are also the NNPA's wordsmith. So we have another word in the dictionary now, separatorial. So we have to get a Bobby Henry dictionary, a Bobby Henry thesaurus. This brother, there's no one else like him, and that's what's the value of the Black press. There's the most powerful expression in the world is self-expression. From 1827, when Freedom's Journal was first published, we've been pleading our own cause, using our own words, using our own expressions, using our own culture, and it has impacted the world. And I just want to say that we were taken to advisement, expanding Let It Be Known to an hour. We own for a half hour, and certainly having some of our female, our women publishers to help co-host. It's a great idea. We'll definitely take it on advisement. And Bobby, I just want to thank you again for the nominating committee. It was great work. And the fact that all 5 members of our executive committee are running for re-election. And we thank you and the nominating committee for putting the ballot together. The election will be on Friday. That's tomorrow, June 25th. And the election time is 4 p.m. Eastern time. And everybody, all the members who are listening, particularly those who are eligible to vote, have already received the email link for the Zoom membership meeting tomorrow. We got some important business to take care of on behalf of the NNPA. And as we're moving forward, I just look, the progression, we're making progress. We have an advancement of the Black press over the last 2 years, and we're very grateful. And at the end of the day, we give God all of the glory and praise.
Yeah, and while you guys are handling the election, obviously the public will not be watching that, but we got something for them. Columbus Short is going to drop by during our convention. While you guys are having your election, we'll be showing our audience a great interview with Columbus Short. So we got something going on all the time at the convention. Cheryl Smith, she says, just to back up your words, Bobby, about Dr. Chavis, she says, we are so blessed to have the knowledge of Dr. Ben Chavis. He is definitely a wealth of information and represents us so well. And she's also going to feature this story about Karen Carter Richards and our executive team on the front page of Texas Metro News this week. So folks, go to that Texas Metro News and check it out, because some great women that we've talked about that leads the NNPA, and you'll see why our convention is not only within the organization, one of the most anticipated events of the year, but outside the organization. Folks have been looking forward to this, and we certainly are. We talk a lot about who's headlining. Shaka Khan, of course, 10-time Grammy winner. Shaka Khan is going to give us a concert on Friday night. It's all free, too. John P. Key. We talk about Candace Hoyes. We talk about all the other ones. We're going to have a great conversation with Stephanie Mills as well. But more than that, so much information. The Black press has always provided the information that our community craves for, and we give it to them. Bobby, how do we give it to them, Bobby? I'll let you tell people how the Black press is always given that information.
Okay, we give it to them as it truly is. It's from the rooter to the tutor. Now, before I leave, Stacy, I got to say this. In representation of Black women, the Westside Gazette right now, there are 5 women that actually run this newspaper. My 4 sisters, Elizabeth, Sonia, Pam, and Carmelyn, my niece, Tawana, and my daughter-in-law, Ariel Henry, who will probably, more than likely, become the publisher once I decide to step down. So, but Stacy, we have been blessed to have a foundation set by my father and my mother. So we stand on the shoulders, oh Lord have mercy.
But you know what? We did that on purpose.
Man.
Do you see that, Dr. Chavis?
Yes, I see. My man. That's the exquisite Bobby Henry Sr.
Well, he's going fishing there, and I have never, Dr. Chavis, tell me the truth. Have you? You know, I know you are well traveled, Dr. Chavis. You've seen so much. You've seen it all, really. But have you ever seen someone go fishing like that?
Well, you know, again, my man, he represents in the water while he's fishing. He represents on the land while he's walking. He represents in the boardroom. You know, my man is dressed. He's probably got some alligator shoes on. You know, that's Bobby Henry.
You know, I wrapped an alligator for about 30 minutes in the water. When I got him on land, I saw he didn't have on those shoes. I was angry. But no, man, on a serious tip, we are truly blessed. You know, we all in this family affair of the NNPA to continue the legacy of the Black press of America, pleading our own cause for our people. A community-based, truly, organization is that of which we stand on as members of the Black press.
And I'm glad Bobby mentioned his family. You know, a lot of our publications are family-owned, family-run businesses. Remember when we had the chair on yesterday, she stressed the importance of her family. Bobby Henry is stressing the importance of his family. And if you talk to most of our publishers, that's the way we stay in business. It's a family community, a family buttressed situation where there's diversity in our community, diversity in our families. And that's what the power of the Black press. Every day, you know, it's not only the headlines, but it's the story behind the headlines. It's the story that the mainstream press not only ignores, but sometimes refuses to print. And one of the greatest awards that we're going to give tomorrow is to 18-year-old now. She was 17 years old when she took that videotape of the police officer murdering George Floyd in Minneapolis. Darnella Frazier is her name. She's 18, and we're going to give her a scholarship as well as an award for her outstanding journalism, photojournalism, but mainly her courage in the face of great harm. She did a public service that went all over the world with that videotape.
Yeah, absolutely.
Stacey, if I may, if I can just segue into this, since you're talking about the young folk, Dr. Chavis is going to be a part of the FAMU alumni, National FAMU alumni virtual conference this weekend. He has agreed to come on for a brief stay to be interviewed by 2 outstanding young ladies, that in Haley Jackson and Janiyah Green. These are high school students of the highest caliber, Black. And so if anybody out there that can hear this, if you can, Saturday at 12:30, please tune in virtually to the FAMU Alumni National Virtual Unity Day Conference and get an opportunity just to see some of our young talent on display. And we will back young people to the hilt and we believe in our young people. And so we have to do that. And we do our best at promoting them when we get a chance, throw them out front, you know, and that's what we do. So Stacy, I appreciate you allowing me to say that and not cutting me off. Thank you.
Do I cut you off, Bobby? I wouldn't cut you off.
Yeah, because you got to come down here, Stacy. You better not cut me off. I got you.
But you know, Bobby, you mentioned you raise a great point. I hear Dr. Chavis talk about the young ones a lot too. Why don't you expand on that? How important young ones are in the Black press and to the Black press?
Okay, you know, this is our blood, and the blood is the lifeline of any organization. So we have the responsibility as those who are now considered to be elders, even the midterm elders, to allow our young folk to have something to, first of all, emulate, and then secondly, to believe, and then thirdly, to exhibit what they have seen and have been taught. So we have done that, and I've seen it done since my involvement with our Black newspaper and the NNPA at 17 years old. So I know the responsibility, the loyalty, the need, and we have to, no ifs, ands, and buts about it. We have to bring young people into our organization and teach them, you know, because so much other stuff has been poured into them. If we're not careful, their cup will become so full that we can't put anything in it. So we have to be the source of pouring information into that fountain and allowing that fountain to come forth. So that's our responsibility, from the print media to the electronic media to the social media to every foundation, every platform that exists in the Black press of America. We have to have some young blood in there, and that's our responsibility.
Oh, greatly said. Well said, Bobby. Dr. Chavis, your closing thoughts with Bobby Henry Sr.
Yes, well, again, the Westside Gazette Newspaper is one of our award-winning newspapers under the leadership of Bobby Henry Sr. and the Henry family. And of course, I have to take some credit because the Henrys originate out of North Carolina. And of course, state of Florida, that whole East Coast, we work together to make sure that we improve the quality of life of our people. And I just think, again, I want to thank Bobby Henry being chair of the nominating committee of the NNPA as we move into the next today and tomorrow for our national convention. And I want everybody to fasten your seatbelts. We're going live at 11 a.m. Eastern time. That's 10 a.m. Central time this morning for the formal opening, the public opening. We had a great board meeting yesterday, but the public opening of the NNPA 2021 virtual convention will take place this morning. And I guarantee you, you all will be inspired, you all will be motivated, and we got some invaluable information, not only for our publishers, but for all the brothers and sisters throughout Black America, all people of color communities, and all Americans. We're going to have a diversity of audiences that will be viewing our virtual conference beginning at 11 a.m. this morning Eastern time.
Well, please log in, stay tuned. It's virtualnnpa2021.com. We're looking forward to having everyone just sign in and take in what the Black press has to offer this week. You will not be disappointed. Let it be known, be selective, be objective, and be an asset to the collective. We will see you tomorrow, but more importantly, we're going to see you at 11 a.m. NNPA, virtualnnpa2021.com. Everyone enjoy the convention.
Karen Carter Richards, distinguished chair of the NNPA, the National Newspaper Publishers Association.
We're stronger than we've ever been. I am so proud to chair this organization because we've always known that we've been a resilient people.
Welcome, Attorney Crump.
Hey, thank you so much for having me, Stacy, and to my mentor, Dr. Ben Chavis, so many times. He has not only provided us an avenue to get the message to our communities on cases that mainstream media won't cover, talking about Black lives that matter.
Hello, I'm Isaiah Thomas, and I want to salute President and CEO Ben Chavis, Senior National Correspondent Stacy Brown, and the entire NNPA executive team of Karen Carter Richards on the 194th anniversary of the Black Press of America.
Hi, this is Congressman Cedric Richmond, Senior Advisor to President Biden and Director of the White House Office of Public Engagement, wishing NNPA a happy 81st anniversary and the Black Press of America a happy 194th anniversary.
Oh, the Black Press of America is absolutely critical in so many ways, but particularly for what you and I are talking about today.
As Speaker of the House, it is my honor to bring congratulations to the Black Press of America.
The Black press was so important in my whole upbringing and my success of my career. You know, Ebony and Jack and Amsterdam News and Harlem and all of that was so important.
John P. Key.
I grew up reading the Carolina Times. So the Black press was so important to us as a family,